When we are studying the Gita, we are studying the cream of the crop of the Vedas. The Vedas are very vast. Like I explained, if you are born in a Sanskrit family, you will start to learn your Sanskrit just like we do in our Western world, right? A, B, C, we learn that at 3 years old, 4 years old. So it's the same thing. You will start your Sanskrit phonics at that age, 3, 4 years old. By the time you reach 15, 16, you would have been able to master Sanskrit to such a degree where you can read the Vedas. And if you start to read the Vedas at 15, 16, and you live for 100 years, and you read the Vedas for 5 hours every day, because that's your sadhana, you probably would have read maybe 1/4 of all the Vedas. They're so vast. So then the question is, how can we get the gist of the Vedas? So the gist of the Vedas, or the Sanam Banam of the Vedas, is the Bhagavad-gita. After Vyasadeva wrote the 4 Vedas, he realized many people in Kali Yuga won't be able to read them. They're so vast. So then they asked him to write another book. It's called the Mahabharata. So the Mahabharata is considered the 5th Veda. And within the Mahabharata is this one chapter, we call it the Bhagavad-gita. So what Vyasadeva did, he took all the main concepts from the 4 Vedas and he played it out in a story form in the Mahabharata. And then when Krishna spoke the Gita, it's all the main aspects of the Vedas right in this conversation. So there's a saying, if you only have one book to read from the Vedas, read the Gita first. And if you have more time, then go read the Bhagavatam. Then if you have more time, then read the Upanishads. Right? But at least let's start off with the Gita, because you'll get all the essence of the 4 Vedas. When we study the Veda, as we're doing, since it's called the 5th Veda, the Mahabharata, we'll see our mind starts to get purified. Our intellect starts to get purified. So when I was learning, we would study the Gita daily. And I remember me and my friends, we used to try and learn 10 mantras a day. Right? Memorize it in Sanskrit, 10 mantras a day. Right? And it'll take like an hour, 15 minutes, right? You learn it, memorize it, chant this. One of us chant, respond, learn. And within about 3 years, I could chant the whole Bhagavad-gita. And I remember one year it was Gita Jayanti, the day that Krishna spoke the Gita. It's normally in December. And I always wanted to go to Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra is the battlefield where Krishna spoke the Gita. And I never went there. I heard so much about it, never went. So one year, me and my friends finally made it there. And we got to the temple in the morning, and all the Brahmins are there, in their silk attire, dhoti, shaven, just took with their fresh tilak. And here, me and my friends with our ugly matted hair, right, showed up with like our clothes so not so refined like the Brahmins. And then the smarter Brahmins, we call them, they look and they could tell from my locks, they could tell I'm not Indian. So you can see some of them were like little, who are you? Why are you here? Da, 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 da. Anyway, they pull out their Gita. They had their whole Gita. They're going to chant from the Gita because they're going to chant the whole Gita on Gita Jayanti. Study the Vedas. And me and my friends, we sat down and we started to chant the Gita. And we chanted it from memory. All of a sudden, the smarter Brahmins were like, what? So at the end of the Gita, they came up to us and they were very more like, because like I said, they were clean and, their clothes were iron and, and here you got these wild guys from the Himalayas just showed up. And so, but in the end, we're very respectful and grateful and invites us in. But this is how we purify the intellect and the heart through transcendental sound. So as we study the Vedas, this one makes sense for us. In terms of the eightfold path, you will either have a karma for it or you don't have a karma for it. Like I say, my karma took me to the Himalayas. Most other people, their karma took them to South India. Then, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't practice some of it, right? Do some asana, do some pranayama, do some concentration of the mind, right? You might not do it to that deep extent to those living in a cave, but do it to your degree, right? In your own house. The yogis, we call the house, our house at home, our ashram. So find your corner, and that's your little cave. A lot of times people ask me, Yogi, do you miss the Himalayas? I'm like, nope. Because for me, the Himalayas is a state of consciousness. Whatever I used to do there, I'm doing same thing here in Hawaii. I'm doing same thing in New York. I'm doing, wherever I move, it's a state of consciousness. If I just think it's a place, no. The advanced yogis, we're gonna, you can put that advanced yogi anywhere and they can tap into that same vibration, that same frequency. Yep.